sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live tonight for another edition of Across the Board, where we're going to be talking about the new college football rankings. Hopefully, we'll still be on stream when that drops at 8:30 on ESPN. And we're also going to have our man SEC Sean's SEC Power Rankings. I was comparing his power rankings to some of the other power rankings in the SEC that I've seen, and they're very, very similar. Very, very similar. Let's welcome to the show tonight our man Post Game of the Post Game 86 podcast. How you feeling post game?
I feel marvelous, Rob. I got a question for y'all real quick. Who was funnier in the Friday movies, Mike Epps or Chris Tucker?
Chris Tucker, man. To me, it's Chris Tucker.
Yeah, I probably got to go with Chris Tucker.
Yeah. If they do another one, I hope Chris Tucker gets to get in this next one. I heard it's a possibility. I would definitely like to see him be the one. For sure.
Hey, Post Game, I'm in the air right now at work. I had to answer your question. I had to jump in here, answer that real quick. Easily, Mike Epps. Not even close. Chris Tucker was a little too serious.
That's that young people stuff, man. That's that young people stuff,
man. I'm just saying, dog.
We also got our man SEC Sean in the house with us. That's going to give us his SEC power rankings here in a little bit. How you feeling this evening, SEC Sean?
We're doing good. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that they seem to be on point with those other ones. I'm glad to see those other guys are following the real guy who knows what's up's leading and mimicking my power rankings. That's how they should be doing it.
I know that's right. You're definitely the man, SEC Sean. You're definitely the man.
Well, I'm definitely the man on the power rankings in this podcast. That's for sure. Right. And I'll take my little small victories whenever I can get them.
I know that's right. Did y'all get a chance to see what our man Desmond Howard had to say about possibly the Texas job coming open? Don't be surprised if that Texas job becomes vacant. What's your thoughts on that? Could there be any truth behind that? What's your thoughts?
Go ahead, SEC. I didn't hear a statement. But I don't believe much that Howard says anyway, but go ahead, my man.
Yeah, he pretty much, for those that missed it, he came out and pretty much was doing some stuff in front of his house on Instagram, TikTok, one of them things, and was talking about Sarkisian, and then said, "Oh, look, there's some tennis balls in my yard, like Tennessee." Trying to be cute, and then he says, they mutually part ways, Texas and Sarkisian, and I'm like, dude, if they're gonna part ways, they're gonna part ways. I will say it seems a lot more possible that they part ways now after some of the comments that have been coming out this week from Sarkisian, crying about the toughness of the schedule and all this stuff, and we were it wasn't fair for this team because they were predicted to be so much better, and they were predicted and to overachieve what they really should have been, and all this stuff. And that's not going to fly down there on the 40 acres at the University of Texas talk like that. I promise you, those boosters will run him out in 5 seconds, and Texas will turn around and call Lane Kiffin if they want him and say, "Look, what do you want?" So I don't know. I mean, I agree with you. Desmond Howard, take it with a grain of salt. I mean,
that's I'm normally one to believe that where there's smoke, there's fire. But that's interesting with them coming off a playoff run and them consistently being in a good position when it comes to recruiting. I know, Texas still has a ever so slight chance to make the playoffs, but I know this season has been somewhat disappointing for the fans, but I don't know. I think Sarkeesian is in a good place with Texas. I know expectations were high. They were ranked number one. They didn't get the job done against Ohio State. But I mean, they got a nice foundation. You get that offensive line in shape, get some guys healthy, some guys step up that are underclassmen, and Texas could be right there vying for a national championship next year. So that whole situation is going to be worth monitoring.
Yeah, for sure. We got our man Level Up Sports 10 in the chat, along with our man Doug Jones. Doug, if you want to get in here and get some of this action, man, we will definitely send you the link if that's something that you want to do. If you got the time to do it and you want to join, just let me know. Then I'll send you the link so you can jump on with us. Um, I feel like Steve Sarkeesian eventually his aspirations are to go to the NFL, and maybe Texas and this fan base and them boosters might be sort of edging him along a little sooner than he probably wanted to. I think he wanted to at least win a national championship or two before he made that move. Um, Will he get a chance to? I don't know, because the way they're coming after him right now with some of the questions from the media and the way he's answering some of them and the way some of the media is coming back at him about some of his answers, at some point you probably get a little bit ticked off about that and be like, man, I could take my talent somewhere else. But I really would like to see, as a Texas fan who loves the University of Texas, has loved Texas since I was 8 years old, and I'm 56 now. I really do believe Steve Sarkisian has to look at what he does as an offensive coordinator and come to the realization that sometimes you got to adapt the philosophy of the conference that you're in, and start being able to get the kind of players that are going to make you competitive in the trenches, especially on the offensive line. Defense has been pretty good. They got to fix that defensive backfield though. Uh, but we see how good they can be with some experienced players because they were really good last year in the secondary. But on the offensive line, if he can't run power runs because he doesn't have the backs or he doesn't have a lineman, he need to get that thing fixed. Otherwise, he might, if he still thinks he want to play the kind of offense he's been playing lately, he's going to get ran up out of there. He's going to probably have to go. But I like Steve Sarkisian. I think he's the right man for the job. I just would like to see him fix those offensive line woes and get some of the big backs, because in the SEC, you got to be able to run the football with power. Much like you seen Mike Elko take that team in 2 years, and look at how well they're running the football. Look at George and how well they run the football. Everybody who was competitive in the SEC, they're able to run the football. Teams who can't run the football that well, they end up having losses on their record. And we've seen that so far this season with Alabama and Texas.
Well, I'll defend Texas a little bit with that too, though, because LSU's offensive line is garbage too. And both teams lost 4 linemen last year. A&M should have had a killer offensive line. All 5, the top 8 in our rotation were all there last year. We brought 8 technically starters back on the offensive line. We should be good on the O-line. Next year, let's see what happens, and then we're going to know what kind of O-line coach we have when we have to replace 5 starters on the offensive line.
Yeah.
But this is a good point from Doug. I've heard this rumor flying a few times too, that he wants to go to Miami and pair back up with Quinn Ewers.
Really? That is really interesting, because I felt like Quinn Ewers wasn't quite the quarterback for the system that he likes to run. Now, of course, Quinn Ewers has some success in the system, but Steve Sarkisian wants to be able to throw the ball down the field as well. And Quinn Ewers wasn't able to throw the ball down the field with the consistency that I think he would is like for his quarterback to be able to do. But all the short throws, the intermediate throws, he can scheme up some stuff for a quarterback like Quinn Ewers to be successful. And we saw that the last 2 years for Texas. Not so much in that first year with Quinn getting his feet up under him in the college game. But I would like to see him eventually go to the NFL if that's what his aspirations are. But if he wants to stay at Texas for a long time, I would like to see that too. Anything else y'all want to add about Desmond Howard's comments before we move on to something else?
Yeah, I just want to say I found no reason or nothing wrong with what Sark said. I thought he defended his team in a great way because he actually made very good points. They beat 3 top-ranked opponents this year, and on paper, that's a very difficult schedule. So I mean, slice it any way you want.
Yeah, I feel the same way you do, FanDuel said. I felt like what he said. Anytime anybody says anything that they want to say, answering a question, I'm okay with what their answer is. I'm not trying to have them answer the question the way I think they should. I want them to answer the question the way they answer it. And I'm going to have to accept the fact that this is how this man felt like he wanted to answer the question. And he answered it that way. I need to accept it and not want him to answer it the way I want him to answer it. All these media people want him to get them the answer they want to hear. And he ain't got to do that. He can answer the damn question the way he want to. And I was okay with what he said too as well. Even though I listened to a lot of shows who had they felt like, he didn't answer the question the way they wanted him to, so they was kind of upset about that. And I'm like, dude, you must be trying to get clicks and likes and all that other stuff, just like these other people are, because he said what he said, and whatever he said should be all right with you. Because it was okay with me. I was cool with it. Anything else y'all want to add? All right. Where do y'all think Notre Dame is going to end up in this next ranking with Alabama losing ahead of them? Do you think that they're going to move up just one spot, or do you think they might be able to crack the top 6?
I don't see them cracking the top 6. What were they last week? 9? I think they move up to 8. I think 8, maybe 7. I think 7 would be the highest I'd put them. I'm not saying that's the right spot for them, but I think that's what, if you're asking what's the committee going to do, that's what I think the committee will
Uh, I got my eyes on a few teams: Notre Dame, Alabama, Oklahoma. I'm really interested to see where those three teams end up in the rank when the rankings unveiled tonight. Um, I think Notre Dame will probably be 8. Yeah, I think maybe 8, 9, somewhere over there. But again, we dealing with the committee, man. There's no telling. They may feel Notre Dame should jump Alabama. They may feel Oklahoma should jump Notre Dame. We don't have. I don't. At least I don't have a clue what they're going to do. But I like Notre Dame in that 8, 9 range for sure.
Yeah, I think they'll probably just move up that one spot as well. But I think Alabama might fall at 9, and then maybe they might fall at number 8. Um, if you were on the committee with Alabama losing to Oklahoma, Oklahoma getting that high quality win in Tuscaloosa, would you consider pitting Oklahoma ahead of Notre Dame?
I mean, the thing for me is this, man. And I don't know if y'all noticed. I'm sure y'all have because y'all football heads like I am. But Notre Dame is playing extremely well right now. I mean, defensively, offensively, they look really good. They look like the team where Rob, me and you did their preview in the summer. And everything I said, that's the team they look like right now. Notre Dame looks really good. And if you going off the eye test, even though Oklahoma is deserving to move in front of Notre Dame with that huge win, I mean, it could go either way. I could see I could see Oklahoma jumping Notre Dame. I can see Notre Dame remaining ahead of Oklahoma. It's all going to come down to what the committee, weighs and what they value more. But coming off such a big victory, both teams came off big victories. Notre Dame on the road, Oklahoma on the road. Of course, Oklahoma's victory was more impressive against a better team, but man, that's a tough one. I mean, I understand. I could see both ways, but man, if I'm just keeping it trill with y'all, no bias. Notre Dame just looks like top 5, man.
So my answer to the question is I'm gonna say I don't know. Like I just don't know whether they should or shouldn't. Be ahead or be behind Oklahoma. But one thing I can tell you about Notre Dame is when it comes to this 12-team playoff, Notre Dame, I feel like they played their right into a home game. So they shouldn't be below 8. But they're also the ultimate chess piece to where you can arrange these teams and make the bracket make sense. So I don't really mind where Notre Dame lands as long as they use Notre Dame as a chess piece to make the bracket make sense. And Notre Dame could get the short end of the stick with what I'm saying and explaining how I'm explaining that. And maybe their road could be tougher. But I also think there's consequences to not being in the conference. And I think that's one of the reasons. Because at the end of the day, when you look at 4 SEC teams, possibly 5 being in, I think you got to wait. You got to use the weight of that's probably they as they view it in the country, that's the toughest conference, maybe arguably to be in. So you got to use that weight, but you can't like schedule these games in a way where we're going to see repeated matchups. That's why I think they just got to be the ultimate chess piece. And maybe they do deserve to be 5-4. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know. You just got to use them as a chess piece, bro.
I think the non-conference, not being in the conference, I think they'll, not that it's right, but I think they'll look at it. And I think Notre Dame's ceiling is probably 6. I don't know that that's right. You can make a case for Notre Dame to be 4, 5, 3. But I think the lack of being in a conference, I think the committee will look at that. And that's why I think Notre Dame's ceiling is probably 6. Could be 5, but I'd see 6 more likely. But I wouldn't be surprised if you just saw Alabama and Oklahoma do this number around Notre Dame. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Just sound with you. Yeah.
What did you see the report come out of Charlotte where the ADs met?
No.
And the Big Ten made their presentation on a 2014 playoff.
Okay. Before we go to that, okay. let's look at Rise Rhythmic. He said Alabama's going to win it all. Do y'all believe Alabama can win it all with no run game?
Nope.
Nah, man, not in the 12-team playoff. Absolutely not.
Alabama, not even. I mean, Alabama may not even make it if they lose if they make it to the SEC championship game and lose, they may not even be in.
You Alabama, they clearly play up and down to their competition.
Right.
Like they're never like just being consistent at what they do. You know, they play down sometimes. If they playing a team that they feel like they need to be up for, they play up. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, you can't. You got to be consistent as a champ.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with you. Without having a running game, and you can be made one dimensional when you already one dimensional because your run game isn't clicking at all. I think that'll be tough against some of these teams, and I think we were able to see that when they played Oklahoma last week. Without a run game, man, you really set yourself up to lose a lot more often than not when you're playing against some really, really good football teams or some teams that have some talent.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean, look, they struggled with South Carolina. Never mind.
just let me add this quick point, fellas. In any sport, in any playoff, the thing that happens with any team and all teams is that your weaknesses get exposed. And especially in a sport like football, where you're playing in the elements, you're gonna have to be able to run the ball if you want to win this playoffs, the championship. You want to compete for a championship this time of the year in December, you got to be able to run the ball. So I definitely don't think Alabama can get the job done.
Yeah. There you have it, Rise Rhythmic.
Hey, in post game, they definitely look like a road team. So they might go to South Bend. They might go to who knows where they're gonna go. Indiana. They might go to wherever. I don't know. We don't know where they would go.
I've seen a couple of brackets put out today, just prediction ahead, and it's annoying to me. I want to tell these people, y'all are stupid. They keep putting Oklahoma and Alabama 8 and 9, but Oklahoma the 8 seed, and I'm like, we just saw this. I know it'd be in Norman at that point, not Tuscaloosa. We just saw this. Yeah. That's why if they just would watch 12 Roads to a Title, they'd know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, talk your talk, Sean. Talk your talk.
So what's that information coming out of Charlotte that you were just mentioning, Sean? And I'm going to go off screen, but I'll be listening.
I don't know how they had it broke down. It was just a presentation that the Big Ten gave on going to a 2014 playoff. But I don't know what the breakdown would have been. But they wanted 4. I mean, I don't know how the buys and all that would have worked, but they wanted 4 auto bids from all the Power 4s, 2 group of 5s, and 6 at large. And I'm thinking, what are we doing? We're going to water this to where we have 7 and 5 teams getting into the playoff now?
No, it wouldn't be 7 and 5 teams in. It'll be all the top 25.
Yeah,
that's
pretty much.
That's only 3 lost teams.
Yeah, that's probably true. You're probably right on that. Well, yeah, because you'd have the top 4 of each conference in the Power 4, yeah, and then the 2 group of 5s, and then 6 at largest. So yeah, you're right. You'd probably have at worst 9 and 3.
Yeah, at worst, maybe a 4 loss like Big Ten or SEC school.
Yeah, maybe an 8 and 4 to, somebody that like an A&M that went on the road and played Notre Dame and Ohio State the first 2 weeks. Maybe, but I think 24 is way too much.
Absolutely so, because like we just seen what Notre Dame just did to Pittsburgh, for example. Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't. This isn't basketball, man. This is a violent sport. How many you would still need 4 wins to win a championship, right? 24 teams.
24.
Few buys in there.
Some teams would probably have to play 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not cool. That's a little egregious for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like you had to cut 2 games off of everybody's schedule too.
right. Yeah, yeah. I thought that was interesting. I heard that this morning, and I was like, I get the
Hey,
Big
I've been
Ten. I get the Big Ten's point. I really do get the point about making it easier to get people in with the 4-4-4-4-2-2. I get that, but that's just too many. I'm sorry, that's too many.
That's
The
why I've been
more,
saying I want that dude gone. I want that Big Ten dude, yeah, the dude that run our over top our conference. I want him
Yeah,
gone, bro. He got some of the dumbest ideas I ever heard in my life.
you say get them out of here.
But hey, Post, I do not like him, bro. Hey, I don't even like this private equity deal. I don't even like that. Like, I don't like it at all. Private equity always strips the essence of a business. Like,
Yeah,
I, at some point, I feel like they're gonna start getting rid of like stuff that's essential to college football within the conference.
yeah,
and it looks like the SEC wants to go to 16, and they want to go, I think, 3-3 for the SEC and Big Ten guaranteed bids, and then 2-2, so that'd be 6, and then one group of 5, and then 5 at large. I think that's the breakdown the SEC wants to go to 16.
bro. I'm telling y'all right now, and I'm sure whether y'all like it or not, y'all would agree. 16 team playoffs is coming.
Yeah, I thought it was coming as early as next year, but it seemed like it still might be on the table. I thought for sure next year
December
we were
1st.
going to get 16.
December 1st is the deadline ESPN gave the college football to make a decision. So you're going to have 12 next year, more than likely.
Yeah.
But again, if anybody watching would go watch 12 Roads to a Title, me and Zay discuss this at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I
I
said
would
I
like
said they might as well model it after the NFL. You just
Right.
go straight 14, reseed after every round, and all that. Do it exactly how the NFL do it. It might as well be the NFL G League.
It might as well be.
yeah, I really would wish they would reseed too. I think that's the best model to use to reseed after you play each round. I think you give the team who has performed the best during the regular season. They should have the best option at trying to win it all. I think that's only makes sense. But I ain't making that money that they making to decide that kind of stuff. But I would really like to see them go to that format too.
I'd like to see him go to that format. I think it's good. The problem I have with it, and this is just to make an argument point so we can have something else to debate real quick. It's not like the NFL where you have a dedicated seed. Some of those seeds are just based on speculation of other people. So it's not,
Yeah,
we're sitting here discussing is Notre Dame 8 or 9. It's not like your NFL, NBA, baseball where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or even college basketball, which again, that's even speculation on a committee making that, putting people with 16 and 15 and 12. And so I think that's where you have a problem with the reseeding. But that's just kind of how I see the reseeding being an issue. And then that's just to cause a little stir for debate.
Hey, and Sean, and that's why I think it need to be combined with Rob's idea. 3 need to play 6, and we need to take the human element out of it. 4 needs to play 5 because now you're playing your way into seeds. It's not, oh, we think this team is better than this. No, they proved it on the field.
Yeah. You know what would be interesting to see is how the old computer models has the seeds.
Ooh, hey, I gotta Google it. Hold up.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you
yeah,
could still get
that
into
would be
that.
really interesting.
That'd be funny. That'd be fun to see.
Yeah.
Man, look, this Michigan State Kentucky game needs to hurry up. We got 9 minutes for the playoff, and they got 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah. Does Notre Dame have an opportunity to be in the top four? Is now that they're not doing the conference championship thing, the top four conference champions get the top four slots? Is it possible for Notre Dame? I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about in any year. Can they be in the top four if they're not in a conference?
Nope.
Is that writing in the way that it is now? Because I know the way that it was last year, they could not get a better position than 5 because of the conference champions. But now they're not doing that format. They're doing the top 4 schools. It would that allow Notre Dame to be able to get in the top 4 when they're not in a conference?
No, they are restricted to 5th or below.
They're restricted. Okay.
Yep. This is exactly what it says right here. I just Googled it. Notre Dame cannot earn a top 4 seed in the college football playoff. The expanded playoff format restricts independent teams to a maximum seed of 5.
I'm cool with that. I
was going to ask you how you feel about that.
But you know what, Rob? What I'm not cool with is the ACC. I think it's time for Notre Dame to cut ties with the ACC and their partnership. It just is, man. I don't like the ACC, advocating. I understand, they want Miami to make the playoffs, but how you gonna come out publicly and advocate for teams to be ahead of Notre Dame, and you got a partnership with Notre Dame? Notre Dame plays in the ACC in basketball, men and women. Football, they got a deal to play 6 teams a year. If I'm Notre Dame, I'm getting rid of the contract with the ACC, and I'm doing so pronto. You can get a deal with any conference you want, I believe. You don't have to have a deal with the ACC. I'm moving on. Their conference is down right now anyway. So everybody, they just gonna pile on about us playing the ACC. When it come down to it, I would find a different partnership. I would try to terminate the contract and move on to a different conference. Now, one of the beauties of scheduling the ACC is that we get to tap into those recruiting markets. If you look at teams in like NC State, North Carolina, well, we just picked up 2 humongous defensive ends from that area, from the Florida area, playing Florida State and Miami. That's exposure to recruits when you play different teams across the country like that. But like I said, man, it's time for Notre Dame to part ways with the ACC.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they should part ways with them as well. I definitely think so. Well, let's start taking a look at SEC Sean's SEC Power Rankings. I'm pulling them up right now. I'm going to put the one on the screen, 16 through 13, here in a second. If you can see it already, you can go ahead and take a look at it, but I'm about to pull it up here in a second, as soon as I can get this off my screen. All right, there we go. We got at 16, he has Arkansas, 15, Mississippi State, 14, Florida, 13, South Carolina. What do you think about that bottom 4 teams in SEC Sean's power ranking? Does that look like a good mixture, or do you think somebody should be higher than where they're placed at?
My bad, y'all. Can y'all pull it up one more time? Arkansas, Mississippi State, Florida, South Carolina. Yeah, man. The bottom 4 teams look good to me. I don't have an issue with that at all.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I was
Trying to
gonna
pull
say
up
all
last
those,
week's.
and I'm gonna say this for our prediction show. I don't know about Tennessee going down to Florida. It seems they had some bad luck traveling to the swamp.
For sure.
Yeah, that look good. It look good, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Self-explanatory. It's the 4 worst teams in the SEC.
Yeah, they pretty much all on the same little line. You know, the line is
Right.
pretty horizontal.
Yeah. Yeah. Very.
Hey, Rob, real quick, when you get a chance, go ahead and wrench our man, Doug up. Wrench Doug up in the chat, man.
Where he at?
He in the chat.
He was earlier, but I haven't seen him say nothing later. I don't know if he's tied up with something or what.
Yeah, he was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still in there or not. I was gonna send him the link to jump on, but I didn't hear him say okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he probably hopped off.
He ain't messaged me or nothing either. So, this is pretty much how I see the next 4. I mean, LSU, Auburn. I mean, maybe LSU's ahead of Auburn, but Auburn's shown a little bit more since they fired Hugh Freeze to me. LSU, yeah, they beat Arkansas, but who doesn't? So, I mean, to me, that's where I've got them. I probably could have had LSU in front of Auburn. I didn't think so. Kentucky is up there after, beating Florida like a drum. And then Missouri. I just think Missouri, yeah, they ran and they beat, who did they beat? I don't remember who they beat last week.
Was it Mississippi State?
It might have been. Where they ran for 300 yards, but I still just don't know if they come across a team with a life pulse as a defense. That running game's not going to carry them all the way through. We saw that against A&M. If that quarterback can't throw it, and he is a freshman, still young, but that's why I've got Missouri 9. Texas, I definitely moved Texas down. Had it been closer, they wouldn't have fallen so far, but Texas got manhandled pretty handily by Georgia. 80-something rushing yards in the combined 3 games y'all played against Georgia. That's not acceptable. Tennessee beat the heck out of some Midwestern school for the blind or something. Joey Aguilar does not impress me anymore. He started out hot, but that dude's throwing picks left and right now. I got Vandy ahead of Tennessee. That'll sort out in a week or two when they play. Dropped Bama to 5. I don't believe any team below Bama beats Bama. So that's why Bama slotted to 5. Had to put Oklahoma ahead of Bama. I know Texas beat Oklahoma, but Oklahoma has a better win. Texas has 3 losses. Texas has a worse loss. And then I moved Georgia all the way up to 2. I think they were 3 last week, so I moved them up 1. Moved Ole Miss. No, Alabama was 2. So pretty much everybody just shifted forward, and Oklahoma jumped Texas and a couple others to slot into 4. So that's where we are this week. We probably won't do this next week because I really don't think it's going to change because nobody's playing. There's 4 conference games, but I don't think there's any that really matter that are going to affect everything. The SEC championship game has been determined what 4 teams it will be. It will either be A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, or Alabama. Some combination of those 4 will be playing. Everybody else is eliminated from the SEC title.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean
Moss Word. My
what
bad,
up,
bro.
Moss? It looked good, bro. The only thing I probably do is slide Missouri up and slide Tennessee back to that section.
I was gonna say the same thing. Missouri supposed to be getting a quarterback this week, right?
He's going to try, from what I'm hearing. He's been throwing. So until he comes back, I just felt I'm going to leave Missouri down there right now. If he comes back and Missouri gets the passing game going again, I would definitely say I would no problem flipping him up in the Tennessee spot and dropping Tennessee. I have no problem with that at all. But I'm not sure Missouri is going to. Missouri plays Oklahoma this week.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably not going to be able to run the ball very well.
Yeah, that Hardy kid is a stud.
Yeah, he is. But that Oklahoma defense is too.
Yeah, and as a power rank. Go ahead, Moss.
I was about to say, go ahead. It was just good evening to see everybody. Of course, I'll be getting on the floor in a few, but good to see everybody this evening. Rankings, pretty spot on, man. Just seeing your season rankings, man. You like an expert. You know your SEC football, and if anything, it's been just maybe a smidget of just their thoughts on the team, and against your thoughts on the team. But other than that, man, just good to see everybody. Of course, man, make sure y'all like, subscribe, all the channels you see. And we appreciate everyone as well for tuning in this evening.
Yeah, I was about to say the only thing else I will argue with you on is flipping Georgia and Texas A&M as just strictly power ranking week to week. You know, I thought Georgia looked real dominant this week.
I could have, but I'm entitled to one homer pick a year. So
Absolutely. I'm just saying, you know, this argument purposes only.
I figured. I did have Georgia one based on this week's power, how they looked this week. But I flipped it back just because I was like, no, I'm not doing it. So.
What's the special?
Well, I know
tonight,
I'm really
Moss?
scared of this Arkansas team this week. I know that.
You better be.
Oh yeah,
Arkansas by
they
50.
can. Dang.
Arkansas.
Yeah. Y'all need that defense to show up this week for sure.
You ain't lying.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
As far as on the basketball side, the men's college basketball, you got a big thumper going on right now. You got the Duke. Later on, you got the Kansas Duke, but right now you got the Michigan and my Big Blue Nation Kentucky Wildcats, who was down 44-27 at halftime. But I could just say this about basketball just in a whole. Speaking for both sides, it's great this season. I think we're gonna be in for some incredible basketball, especially on the men's side with the college. A lot of great young talent out there. As post game talked about the young freshman over in Arizona. I literally watched him the first night, and I knew somebody would be talking about him. He's just that great. I could possibly see him a one and done type of caliber player as he put his game together. I think we looking at a lot of future stars when it comes to former pops. As I refer to my dad as pops, and I know post game does that with his pops as well, Papa Whitmore. So, I'm looking forward to this season. Kaya Anthony being something special. I talk about him a lot. It's just great to see him doing what he do, as well as AJ Devonta and BYU, who had an nail biter with UConn last week, lost by 2. So it's a lot of great things going on with the college basketball as well as the NBA also.
Yeah, I mean, heck, A&M was up on top of Montana, 35-28.
FanDuel Zaya sent me the layout of what it would be if the BCS had calculated this. Let's take a look at that and see what that looks like. I think I got it right here. Oh, that ain't it. Let me get that over there.
That thumbnail fire though.
I'll get
Yeah,
that
that
thing
is a
over there,
crazy
man.
one.
You got to look at your Longhorns one time, Monk, before that might be the only playoff picture type you get.
Let me see if let me make sure I click the right one.
Hey, why he trying to figure that out, Moss? Hey, guess what, Moss?
Talk to me.
Your boy done came over to the coffee world, man.
What you get? Did you hit up Mickey D?
Nah, I got the Tim Hortons though, but I'm coming to Mickey D's, dog. I'm coming. I'm gonna see what you be talking about, dog. I done had to come over to the coffee world, getting to work at 6 a.m. I can't keep doing that.
Man, you should have hit Tim Hortons up and got that coffee for free.
How I do that?
Like,
Anytime the
gotta
Blue
put the
Jackets win a hockey game, you get a free coffee.
Yep.
Just from them winning the game?
Yeah, and if they score three goals, you get a bowl of Skyline chili for free.
Oh, don't even worry. I had a notification come to my phone from here on out.
Put the app on your Tim Hortons app on your phone.
Whoever becomes my favorite is going to wind up getting a couple of tickets to a Blue Jackets game. Because I'm not going to be able to make all the game. I'm not going to be able to make all the games this year, and I've got 6 more games coming that I'm not going to be able to make them all.
Don't play no games. Won't be no. I'll be an Aggies fan for the rest of the season for one of them.
No, you've been banned because you've been rooting for that burnt orange. You're out of here. I'm going to give them the post game for letting us win in Notre Dame. That's what I'm going to give them to.
Hey, that's a good welcome gift for post game to come to the city, though. That's a good welcome gift. Post game.
We got a few. I mean, I've got like I said, I got a few I'm not going to use. So we'll sort some stuff out. All right, so the basketball game's over. So y'all go ahead with this real quick. I'm gonna try to get it streaming on my phone.
Wow.
All right, cool. FanDuel, how do I make this bigger?
I think it's as big as it's going. Oh, what you talking about? Our face?
No, the
No,
paper
the yeah. The BCS standings.
If you on your computer, you can hit the 3 little dots on the right side, top right corner, and turn up the magnifying glass. But on the screen, you can't make it no bigger. However they see it is how they see it.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I can make the thing bigger on there.
It's identical to the AP. There's a few little changes, but that's about it.
Yeah, so at number 1 they would have Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, Oregon, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Notre Dame at 9, Alabama at 10, BYU at 11, Utah at 12. Tulane would be the conference that would get in there.
James Madison would be.
Oh yeah, James Madison would be, yeah. So you got James Madison, North Texas, Tulane, all grouped there at 22, 23, and 24. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I think they copied off that. I think the AP be copying off of BCS, and they just change what they want to change.
Sound about right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Only thing I see different is USC 16. What is it? USC 16 in AP.
Yeah,
Georgia Tech is.
Yeah.
Who was you saying, Doug? I mean, Sean?
That's what I was looking at, trying to see. It looks like they flipped USC and Georgia Tech, didn't they?
Yeah, Miami.
There's no ACC team. Yeah, there's no ACC team in the playoff. If it was a playoff today, like just looking at it based on the rankings, not with no championships, there wouldn't be no ACC team there.
No, if you just took the top 12, no.
Yeah, I think the A. I mean, being a Florida State fan, seeing the ACC, I think the ACC is on its way out. I think it's only a matter of years. I think because I mean, of course, the Big Ten, the SEC, but I think even the Big 12. When you look at the Big 12 this year, if you look at the consistency and where the Big 12 is in the rankings and the way they are faring out this year, they're more of a popular conference, in my opinion, than a ACC.
Well, yeah, according to this, you'd have 3 Big 12 schools in the playoff if you just took the top 12.
Yeah, and just think, I thought 3 ACC teams would possibly be there. Like just thinking earlier in the year, but now they gonna have that argument now. You're gonna hear talks about Big 12 and the ACC, which is the top conferences now between them two, and then the powers, James Madison, North Texas. I think a lot of those teams need to get respected now.
Well, if the Big Ten signed this equity deal, I think it's going to be it's a standstill in college football. I don't think the super conferences is going to come because everybody's going to start doing the same thing. It's hard to leave $150 million on the table.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem with the ACC, Moss, is all y'all horses didn't meet expectations. I mean, Miami still got a chance, but you're talking about a conference with Miami and Florida State and Clemson. So, and Miami is not out of the woods yet. Georgia Tech, they got a big game this week, but Clemson and Florida State being down really hurts that conference.
Yeah, I think the ACC need to just get behind 3 teams and push all the money into them.
Yep. Well, the show fixing to start, so we're gonna see what pops up here. Before we get started, since we're playing nobody this week, I'm gonna give y'all some little fun facts on our game this week. I'm gonna see if we can drop behind by 40 and come back this week.
Sean, you crazy, man.
I try. And then I told y'all this the other day, but we took their basketball coach. He's now the coach at Texas A&M. Samford's is. And do you want to know who the most famous quarterback to ever play at Samford for the Bulldogs was? Anybody got a guess? Most famous quarterback from Samford.
I don't even think I know about the school, so just tell us.
Jimbo Fisher.
Wow. Probably wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah. They mentioned that on a podcast the other day, and I was like, don't bring that name up around me, please.
Yeah, what time the show start? At 9?
It's on right now. They just haven't got to anything. They're just, Reese and all them just talking knuckleheads right now.
Oh yeah, because it's only 2 more shows after this one, so they trying to make it suspenseful. You know what I'm saying?
But they got to get it done because they're on the set of a basketball game, so they're fixing to tip off a basketball game at 9:00.
Oh yeah, they move it to ESPNU,
right?
ESPNU or 2 or something.
Ocho or something.
Yeah, that they ain't playing. That's that Kansas Duke game. But the only thing about that Kansas Duke game, they not Kansas playing without Peterson, which is their super mega star. I think he's really brought something special back to Kansas basketball. And I think like if we really go across the map and look at a lot of these freshmen on the college basketball landscape, I mean, we could go on and on for hours, days, weeks. I think college basketball is in great hands. I think the NBA in the near future, depending on some of the moves some of these big time names make, depending on how their college seasons go. And I think post game watches a lot like me. I think he can contest to that because I think a lot of the blue bloods have really got a lot of those recruits to really make them that basketball this year moving forward a lot more competitive. And like I said, I speak on Cayenne so heavy it's good to see Syracuse basketball back. And I think, the class that they have, not just Cayenne, it's a couple other players that's great freshmen as well on that team. And I say great because Syracuse is off to a great start as well. So if y'all haven't tapped in and watching him, make sure y'all do go check him out. I even checked out Tarleton State. They got a Dior over there. FanDuel say you might want to go check out Tarleton State on the basketball side. You'll like it. And then I've been seeing Mikey Williams over doing this thing at Sacramento State. So it's just good to see a lot of these young kids doing what they do and being student athletes first. So anything from you on the college basketball or NBA post game?
Man, we'd go all night, man. I want to stay focused on the rankings though. But you're
I,
absolutely right on everything you said, my man.
I do watch Kansas because they got a kid from the high school I used to be down at, Jabari McDowell. He used to play at Manville High School. I'm typing these in as we go, guys. So I'm trying to get them in there.
Nah, you good. I'm gonna probably step out before we go through the rankings and everything, so I can get started. But no, it's definitely good, to see everybody this evening. Y'all know I'm on this crazy graveyard. This my last day, but I'll be trying to get something possibly set up for tomorrow evening, a little conversation or even some talks, with this basketball season. Sure, me and post game will get in the chat and be talking about that as well. Make sure y'all lock in, man. Follow FanDuel. Go check out one of the hottest, if not the hottest intro. I'm gonna go ahead and talk my talk. The hottest intro in the Midwest. FanDuel, man. That intro, it's like not just the intro. You'll be trying to figure out where he got that beat from. Shout out to Nano on the beat. Go follow SEC Sean. Make sure you lock into him. Go follow Post Game 86. Go follow City League TV. Ask somebody's coming. It's gonna be something coming and some talks with that one. Make sure you follow Parlay Pro. Parlay Pro. We got the Blitzberg channel as well. And then make sure you go follow the man that created everything you see coming from us. WTP Sports Dudes. Man, it's something special. But as the day continue and the evening continue, I'm gonna pass the mic to you, gentlemen. Everybody in here, it's a great evening to see you all. But Moss B out. Make sure you follow Level Up Sports 10. That's me, and we out. Conversations coming soon. Peace and love, man. Love y'all, fellas.
Peace out, Moss.
Y'all know it.
Look at Tulane jumping James Madison.
James Madison ain't even in it.
So who at 11? I can't see it.
Well, hold on.
The money sign was right there. I didn't know if it was a name or not.
No, he didn't click it yet.
Yeah, nah. What I'm saying, I could see the comments, but the money sign on the chat was over it, so I couldn't see the name.
I was like, God. Well, again. Okay, come on. What the hell?
See, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They gonna keep leapfrogging Vandy. Vandy gonna sit right there in the rankings. They ain't gonna go nowhere. They ain't gonna go higher. They ain't gonna go lower. They're just gonna sit right there. People just gonna keep jumping over top of them.
Honestly, I thought SC would be over Vandy.
SC got a chance to jump all them teams in front of them this week, though.
That's a fact.
See, I don't like it. I don't like it. I do not work the paint desk. Hey,
Man, whoa. SEC Shine, what's your thoughts on Bama to 10, man?
Pretty much what we said a minute ago. Bama and OU kind of flipping right around Notre Dame.
Absolutely.
so while we sitting here waiting for 5 through whatever, through 1, this is exactly what they doing, man. And I swear this is the SEC bias BS I be talking about. Notre Dame deserved a home game. You said what?
I was just messing with you.
About what?
Nothing.
What?
I was gonna mess with Zay and be like, "You fixing to be really upset," and try to make him think that they moved Indiana to 1.
Oh man, you should have did that. That would have been hilarious.
I should have typed it in like that and then went, "Oh, that typo."
Y'all love playing with my emotions, huh?
Yeah, I didn't want that screen to crack.
Crazy work.
So there you go. There's 5 through 1.
Tech, Georgia, and Indiana.
I don't have a
Ohio
problem with
State.
5 through 1.
Yeah, 5 through 1 should be universal.
Yeah. I don't see an issue with 5 to 1. The Bama Notre Dame OU thing, you can debate that all you want. I don't know. Notre Dame could be an 8. You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to look and see. So you'd have the 4 buys. Texas Tech would get Tulane. Ole Miss would get BYU. Oregon would get Bama, and OU and Notre Dame. I mean, Oregon, Bama, Notre Dame, OU. Okay.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
I mean, I do agree with Zay though that I could see why if I was you post game a Notre Dame guy, I could see why you'd be like, well, we should be 8, but I don't know that it really matters that much. I mean, if you get in, you get in.
Yeah, I just want Notre Dame to be in. Whatever the ranking is. I mean,
yeah, I know that's the only thing I'd be concerned with right now is Notre Dame is Miami keeps creeping up. They started 18, then they went to 15. Now they're at 13. And they've got a couple of games that could boost their resume too. They've got what? Well, they've got Pitt at the end, right?
They also have a couple of games they could lose.
Oh, that's 100% true too. That the advantage. I think one big thing is the way y'all beat Pitt down. Miami's going to have to match that result.
Yeah.
So Texas fell a lot further than I thought they would.
Do y'all think they're respecting Utah a little bit too much? BYU
Yes.
maybe a little bit too much.
Yes. I'm not. I don't, bro. I've been saying this. I don't think the Big 12 is as good as some people may think. I think you got Texas Tech. That's probably it. I'm not big on Utah. I'm not big on BYU. I don't think none of those teams should be in. But that's just how I feel. I don't think the Big 12 deserves more than one bid, and that's Texas Tech.
I don't either, and that's kind of the fear of a Notre Dame is BYU wins out, Tech wins out, they play, and BYU beats them in the Big 12 title game. I don't see them leaving Tech out.
For sure, for sure. Y'all be cool.
But, you know, I agree. I mean, I don't see a BYU or a Utah being able to beat dang near anybody in the top 10.
Because I mean, you're looking at it right now. It looks like BYU would be in unless they play in that Big 12 championship game and lose. Then they probably would knock them out. But if they did it today, they would be in, and then you would have Tulane in there, right?
Right.
No, they wouldn't be in. The ACC champ will be in. 10 down is in.
Oh, that's right. That's right. There'd be two spots. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
So
So
they would be in.
you'd have Tulane in Miami.
Okay.
So in this, the way this looks, Tulane will be the 12 seed. Miami more than likely will be 11. Yeah, they will be 11. So they'll match up with Ole Miss. 10 will match up with no. 5 will match up with Tulane. Yeah, I said that right. Ole Miss will match up with
How's Miami 11? Explain that to me. How's Miami 11?
because they're the ACC champ and they're the lowest ranked Power 4 school.
But see, they won't be the ACC champ because they're not going to play in the ACC title game.
Oh, you're right. Well, whoever the ACC, I'm saying, okay. So whoever the ACC champ is, so it'll be Georgia Tech.
Right.
Let's say it's Georgia Tech at the moment.
Right.
It'll be Georgia Tech is in, and everybody from 10 down is in, and then Tulane.
See, and that's what I don't like.
Go ahead, Sean.
I've got the ESPN their bracket after they filled it in.
Yeah.
They said this is set. This is the way it would be, and they've got Miami in at the 11. But Miami can't win the ACC.
10 down.
They've got Miami. This is what they have: Tulane, Texas Tech at 5-12, 8-9 Notre Dame, OU. They have the 6-12 is Ole Miss, Miami, or 6-11, but Ole Miss and Miami.
Yeah, 6-11, 5-12.
But Miami can't win the ACC.
Yeah, they messed up because you remember the first time they did the show, they messed up on their bracket.
Right. Now,
so
I'm going to watch a little more. Maybe they'll fix it. I don't know. Maybe it'll adjust.
Yeah, now Miami, with these rankings, Miami cannot be in. It's everything 10 down because you got Notre Dame still in the bid and you got the group of 5. So with the 10 that we got, it'll be the ACC bid that's not in the 10, which is 11, and then the group of 5 bid. So that's 12. Maybe they think Miami still got a chance to win the ACC. I don't know. But it'll be Georgia Tech. Well, let's just assume it's Georgia Tech. It'll be Georgia Tech in the 11th seed. And then it'll be Georgia Tech in the 11th seed and Tulane at the 12th seed. So the 11-6 matchup will be Ole Miss and the ACC winner. 12-5.
So in no scenario, Miami can make the ACC championship game.
No, that's why I said. I mean, it's. I think it's a possibility, a very
Y'all keep
small one
talking.
though.
Keep talking. I'm pulling it up right now.
Because that would be a big blunder for somebody like ESPN to mess that up like that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, everybody'd have to lose another game in front of them. Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pittsburgh, SMU would all have to lose another game, and then you'd have 6 teams at whatever in 2, 6-2, 7-2 record, and then it would come to tiebreaker. So maybe they can still win it.
Interesting.
But the odds of Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pittsburgh, and SMU all losing another game, I don't know that I see it.
Right.
SMU has Louisville, possible, and California. Yeah. So SMU could lose. Pittsburgh, we know, has Georgia Tech and Miami. They could lose.
Yeah.
But Miami has to beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Virginia has just they're done. No, I'm sorry, Virginia Tech. So I don't see Virginia losing to Virginia Tech. I mean, it's a rivalry game, so you never know. But and then Georgia Tech, of course, has Pittsburgh and then Georgia, which Georgia doesn't count as a conference game.
Right.
So it would take some crazy stuff, but yeah, the way it looks like Miami can still get into the ACC champ.
Yeah.
But you're saying there's a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
I guess if they still have a chance to get there, that's why they've got them in at the 11. But I just don't see. I don't think it's very. I don't think it's very likely at all.
I don't either.
But yeah, I mean, so I guess they would be right. They would slot in, but trying to look. So yeah, in this scenario, you'd have to be in the top 10 to be in, and then the next 2 would be the ACC and the Group of 5, which are Group of 6, whatever you want to call it, which would be Tulane. Which I'm shocked North Texas is not ranked
higher than Tulane.
Yeah, I can't believe James Madison fell completely out.
What did they do?
Won big time. They beat Appalachian State by like 30.
Yeah, they don't want James Madison there.
But James Madison's strength of schedule is like 115th too.
Yeah, they don't want him, man.
Well, I said too. I've said this too, and I think all of us have, is that the American Conference is the stronger Group of 5 conference over the Sun Belt.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to agree to that. So whoever wins that's going to be the Group of 5 person.
And that's coming down to North Texas, Navy, and who else?
Well, North Texas, Navy, Tulane, and Eastern Carolina all have 1 loss. But North Texas holds the tiebreaker with Navy, and let me look real quick. I don't think North Texas plays Tulane. So no, North Texas has Rice and Temple left. So North Texas is more than likely in the American Championship game, as long as they don't stumble and lose one of the next 2.
Yeah. Did
you hear me say about Miami can make the ACC title game?
Yeah, I said they probably could. It's probably it's like a real small percentage chance, huh?
Pittsburgh has to beat Georgia Tech, and Miami has to beat Pittsburgh.
Oh, that ain't a small chance. That's a pretty solid chance.
Then it goes to 3. Then it goes to all kinds of tiebreakers. But at that point, Virginia, if they beat Virginia Tech, would only have 1 loss. So they'd be in the conference championship game. And then it's just a matter of tiebreakers between there. Now, if Virginia loses to Virginia Tech and those other scenarios happen, you'll have 6 teams tied with a 7-2 record to the top of the conference. You'll have a 7-way tiebreaker. So
say it again. Say it again, Tom.
If Virginia loses to Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech loses to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh loses to Miami, and SMU drops a game to Louisville, you will have 7 teams with a 7-2 record at the top of the ACC.
Oh, that ain't happening.
That's the scenario for Miami. So that's why they are sitting at 11, because there is a chance they can win it.
Yeah, they hoping they could get in too.
Yeah, the committee's hoping like hell they can get in so they don't have to fight that Notre Dame Miami fight. Which I'm sorry, Notre Dame, I know Miami beat them and I do like the head-to-head, but Notre Dame is a much better team than Miami. I'm sorry. If they played again, Notre Dame smashes Miami. I mean, if we play Notre Dame again, we probably lose.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Let me look at something real quick. Schedule. I don't care about their schedule. No.
It looks like they've made it very clear that they want Miami to represent the ACC.
Oh,
yeah, like I said, they don't want to have to do that. Well, even though head-to-head, because they said head-to-head and strength and all this would matter. And if they put Notre Dame in ahead of Miami, you're now saying that head-to-head doesn't matter. So now why is Notre Dame or Ohio State going to go play Texas, or Notre Dame and A&M going to play, or Michigan and Bama? Why would you play that game if it's not going to do you any good at the end of the season? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they like those Asian people on Menace to Society. They don't want trouble, man. They don't want trouble, Rob.
What do y'all think about Virginia and Georgia Tech in comparison to Utah and BYU?
Yeah, I mean,
are they similar? Are they the same? Or is one group better than the other group?
I think they're all similar, but I don't know. I would probably say BYU is better than the others, and that's just, I don't know. That one's pretty tricky.
I just don't know that I would put Utah ahead of Georgia Tech. Maybe not even Virginia. They got 2 losses, right? Utah got 2 losses?
Yeah. To BYU and Texas Tech.
To BYU and Texas Tech.
See, Rob, you know why they did that though? Because they want to justify why they would put BYU and Texas Tech in the playoff if it came down to it. They want the people to see that they value the Big 12 more than the ACC. Just like you saying they want Miami to clearly be the representative is the same reason why you see BYU right there and Utah right there, in my opinion.
Yeah. And BYU still has to play Cincinnati.
Because
on the road,
like
this week.
In other words, like, why would you keep on having Vandy right there and have people jump over top of them?
Right.
You want to show the strength of the SEC, or you would just move them back.
Yeah.
I don't know if Zay was on here or you heard Rob, but I don't understand how. I mean, I thought for sure North Texas would be in this, and I can't believe they pulled James Madison all the way out.
Well, they on the CFP, I don't think James Madison ever cracked the top 25.
They were in there last week, weren't they? No, they weren't. You're right.
I think they were in the AP, but I don't
it was
think
USF that was in there last week. That's right. It was USF and they lost. So yeah, okay, that makes more sense now. Now I'm okay. Yeah.
That's interesting, man. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and you've got at the top, I was looking at the SEC schedule. You've got OU and Missouri square off this week. Of course, Texas and Arkansas. Tennessee, which, I mean, these are teams that are down the list. Tennessee and Florida. Don't know. Oh, and Vanderbilt, Kentucky. So,
Oh,
I mean,
don't
you've got a
forget.
chance for a few teams to slip up in the SEC this week, but I don't know. I mean, OU could lose. Vanderbilt could lose to Kentucky, believe it or not. Kentucky's got a pretty good defense, and that quarterback's playing a lot better.
Yeah, but don't forget, Oregon and USC got a big matchup this week too.
Very true, 100%. The problem with Texas is I didn't think they'd fall to 17. I mean, it's okay where they are. That's fine. But Texas's only hope now, I mean, because Arkansas, they're not going to get any credit really for beating Arkansas. Arkansas's 2-9 and no wins in the SEC. So they're really not going to get a whole lot of credit unless they just destroy Arkansas. But even then, Texas's only hope is to beat A&M and hope for chaos in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who 11 down do we really see outside of USC? Because Post just mentioned, don't forget the Oregon USC USC matchup. But out of all them teams, who can really make a jump? I really just don't see it, bro. Nobody except for Michigan. I don't see it. I think we pretty much damn near locked in for real almost.
Yeah, it looks like it's a lot of people.
Like we rounding in the form for real. Because Georgia Tech, because they played Georgia at the end.
There you go. If they happen, that game was 8 overtimes last year.
Yeah.
So if Georgia Tech beats Georgia, they're going to fly up that list.
It's going to be over 8 minutes into the game this year. No, just playing.
You gonna call up the coach from Georgia Tech and tell him watch for the onside kick, huh?
Yeah. Now that's one thing Steve Sarkisian said that didn't make no damn sense. We practiced it, but then they get it off.
Yeah. Yep. I heard some Texas fans screaming about it, saying, "Who kicks an onside kick up 11 in the fourth quarter?" And I was like, Kirby Smart.
The team that won.
I mean, Texas had a little bit of momentum, right? And they down 4. The next time Arch Manning touched the field, they down 18.
Right. I told everybody that ended the game when that onside kick happened. That was it. Turn it out.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, that game.
You were up 11 at that point. So even if Texas recovers it and scores, you're still up 4.
Yeah. But that play, took me back to a terrible place. When my Indianapolis Colts was in the Super Bowl against the Saints, and they come right out of halftime and do an onside kick. And back then, you didn't have to announce them. So,
tell you what, there's a high school team down near Houston called Fulshear, Texas. They don't punt, and they onside kick, and they go for 2 after every touchdown. And they never punt. They'll go for it 4th and 32 on their own 3-yard line. They're going for it.
What's their record over the last 5 years?
They went 15-1 last year.
That's crazy work.
Yeah, they went 15 they've only been open for 3 years as a school, and I think they've only had 1 losing season, and that was the first year they opened as a varsity program. Yeah, they might have been 14-2 last year. I may be wrong, but either way, they had a great record. I don't know. I mean, the only thing I really see I could make a fight with would be the Bama Notre Dame OU stuff. But like we talked about that before the rankings, and I kind of think that's where we all thought it would fall out.
Sean,
what?
Texas is sitting at 17. If they beat y'all, they can get in.
I know they can. That's what I said. Texas has to beat us, but they have to have some help in front of them too. Especially, what if USC beats an Oregon? They're moving up. If Vanderbilt beats Tennessee, they're going to move up. That's another ranked win. If Miami wins out, so Texas has got some work in front of them. They have to beat A&M.
I don't know how much help they need outside of Bama losing or OU.
Well, okay, yeah. If one of them lose, they win. But there's your if OU especially loses one of the next two to Missouri or LSU, and Texas beats A&M, then yeah, I can definitely see Texas coming in front of OU and replacing them in the playoff for sure. But I don't see OU losing another game. And I don't see Bama losing the Iron Bowl to Auburn. But that's a rivalry game, and it's at Jordan-Hare. So,
hey, when I compare resumes and I put up Texas versus BYU.
oh yeah, there's
BYU ain't beat a ranked team all year. They got the same problem Vandy got.
Vandy does have ranked wins. They're just not ranked now.
I mean, well, what are we talking about?
See, well, that's the debate. That's the debate. Is a ranked win when you beat somebody in their rank and then they fall out, so now it's not a ranked win, but they were ranked when you beat them?
No.
Okay. So they have to be ranked at the end of the year for it to count as a ranked win?
Exactly.
Okay. See, I think if you play them when they're ranked, then they're ranked.
No, because what about Florida State?
Right.
You lost to Florida State.
Well, no, we didn't, but yeah.
I'm talking about Bama. You lost to Florida State when they was a ranked team. That's not a ranked team, though.
No, they weren't ranked.
No,
when they lost to them.
They weren't
Florida
ranked.
State wasn't ranked at the beginning of the year.
You right. They got ranked after that win. Y'all right. Y'all right.
See, Florida State, I mean, like, we beat Missouri when Missouri was ranked. We beat LSU, but they had just lost to Vanderbilt and fell out when they were still 20 when we beat them. But then they fell out afterwards, and people are saying we didn't play anybody that was ranked. But we did. They just fell out afterwards. That's not our fault. I mean, that's why I think if you play a team and they're ranked when you play them and you beat them, it's a ranked win.
Nah.
That will agree to disagree. That's just my theory on it. I don't think at the end of the year, if you play a team like, if Texas were to fall out, that wouldn't be a ranked win for y'all, even though they were number one in the nation.
Not if they fell out the rankings.
See, I think it is because they were ranked when you beat them.
We talking about the final boss moment, though. You feel what I'm saying? We talking about after all the games is played, and we know where everybody's resumes lie. Where do the marbles fall? When you start comparing resumes, if we gonna say, all right, Notre Dame, they got 2 losses to A&M, who's the number 2 team in the country. A&M was not the number 2 team in the country when they lost to them. So now you weighing that loss way better than what it was when they played them, because that turned out to be the number 2 team in the country. You see what I'm saying? That we talking about when the marbles fall. So you can't sit there and say Texas was number 1 in the country and we beat the number 1 team in the country, because by the end of the year they showed us they wasn't the number 1 team in the country.
Well, right. I agree with that. That's just how I've always looked at it. I mean, I see your side of it. That at the end of the year, it needs to go down to where are they when the final rankings come out. I mean, I can get that, but that's just how I've always looked at it and that's how I've always heard it discussed too is, this is a ranked on ranked. And it was like 18 versus 23. And then they're like, well, they're coming off a ranked win the next week, even though the 23 ranked team isn't ranked. So it's just how you look at it. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't hold a lot of weight. I mean, you're right as far as resume goes. Texas's resume is way better than BYU's, Utah's, probably Miami. It's definitely better than Vanderbilt because they beat Vanderbilt. Texas at 17. I thought they were going to go to 15. That's what I told Robert earlier. I said I saw Texas go into that 15 range.
Sean, but what about this though? I called this on 12 rows. The level of bias we always see with the SEC. You got
Yeah.
2 buys, you got 2 home games for them, and then you got the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It never fails. Notre Dame looks way better than OU, but we got OU getting the home game right now.
Right. I mean, I agree. That one right there, I can flip back and forth. I could see that, but and I think at the end of the year it may flip. I don't know. The buys. I mean, yeah, I'll get it, but that's SEC Big Ten. That's going to be that way.
They don't want these. They don't really want these Big Ten. I mean, these SEC schools going on the road. They really don't. Like the only one you got is Bama right now, but they think Bama can hold their weight. Against Oregon.
Right. Well, yeah, and I mean, I see. You can make a scenario USC beats Oregon. Maybe does Oregon slot down to like 10, or do they fall out? So, that's I'm sitting here looking at that.
If USC beat Oregon,
Notre Dame should get a home game. That I agree with that 100%.
If USC beat Oregon, I can all but guarantee that they're just going to swap them.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Swap who?
Oregon and USC. They're just going to swap them in the rankings.
And that's.
I don't think Oregon going to fall that far. They might fall like right before Vandy or something.
Like 13.
Yeah, like 13, 14.
Yeah.
But they're going to just really swap them in essence.
Pretty much.
Man, I just need to see BYU got to lose, man. They got to lose. I couldn't get past that, man. Why the hell is BYU and Utah at 11 and 12, man? That makes absolutely no sense. You got a 2-loss Utah team at 12.
Bro, it's too many. Listen, I may be of different opinion, but I just don't think that the Big 12 is getting more than one. I just don't, man. I just don't. Even if BYU and Utah were to win out, I think at the end of the day they get one bid. That's just my personal feeling. That's how I feel like it's gonna shake out.
The thing is, though, if they win, like say if they win next week, if they both play, and USC beats Oregon, are you going to drop Oregon? Are you going to keep Oregon still ahead of them? You got to move USC ahead of them. Are you going to still keep Oregon ahead of them? You have to. They're not better than Oregon. These dudes need to be back further, man. They need to be back further because if they beat Oregon losing USC and they move BYU and Utah up one slot. Utah's 11 now, and BYU's at 10, and they play in their championship game against Texas Tech. They're in their championship game. Do you put them out now? And they're at 10, and they will get that number 11 spot?
I don't think BYU can beat Texas Tech, period. But it's not a guarantee that BYU on the road is even going to beat Cincinnati.
I agree. I need Cincinnati to whoop them because that's the only thing that's going to make sense to me is that they get their ass out of there. Because right now, it looks crazy for them to be at 11, man. And Utah at 12.
Yeah, let me rewind 5 minutes ago.
I agree with what you said, FanDuel. I agree with that 1,000%. I just wish that wasn't the case. That's all I'm saying.
No, I want to scrap what I said because I'm actually looking at it. I think if USC beat Oregon, that's the path for the Big Ten to get 4 schools in, and you still jumping BYU.
And then what if Michigan beats Ohio State? The path.
That was the doomsday in the Big Ten right there post game. That was the doomsday scenario in the Big Ten.
If USC beats Oregon and then they beat Washington, and then if Michigan wins out and they beat Ohio State, there's no way those other Big 12 teams are getting there. No way.
I don't think they get in anyway. I mean, BYU has the best chance to get in. Utah shouldn't even be on there. Utah's not getting in.
Yeah, they're faded time.
Yeah, Utah's not getting in. They've got what? Do they have 3 losses now or 2?
Who? BYU?
I think BYU might have. Utah might have
Utah
3
got
losses.
2.
Utah got 2. Yeah.
Okay. I thought they had lost. Okay, but even then, they're not going to play for unless. Well, no, they're not going to play for their conference title anyway. It's more than likely going to be BYU and Texas Tech. The only way the Big 12 gets to is BYU wins. You're not going to drop Texas Tech from 5 out at that point. It's just not going to happen for losing in the conference championship game. USC, Michigan winning does create a doomsday for the Big 10. Yeah, you're right, because then you become, okay, now what are we doing? So, but I still think the Big 10 can get 4, but I think it has to be USC, just because I don't see Michigan beating Ohio State, but I didn't see that for the last 4 years either. So, I think USC is the best shot for the Big 10 to get 4 in.
I think we pretty much locked in 6 down. I think it's still a chance you could see under post-game scenario, you could see 5 teams from the Big 10 and only 3 from the SEC. But that will mean that OU or Bama lost.
Right.
So I mean, we still got very, very impactful games for the playoffs, regardless of what what's going on. Because I don't think really a lot of these, especially Big 10 and the SEC, even not the Big 12, because the Big 12 could still a bid if Texas Tech lose in the championship game. But between the Big 10 and the SEC, whoever loses those conference games, championship games, it's not going to affect the playoff, because they're not going to let that game affect them teams missing the playoffs.
Yeah, because I mean, even Utah sitting at 12, they're going to get leapfrogged by the ACC champion no matter what, and the group of 5 who need to get in there too. So Utah, you need to be in the top 10.
So let me ask y'all this: is the ACC having 2 bids? Is that back on the table? The champion and possibly Miami?
I think for that to happen, it has to be Virginia or Georgia Tech versus Miami in the championship game, and then Miami has to win it.
But what if Miami? Because we already went over the scenarios. So what if Miami wins out, doesn't make the ACC championship game, and you get, let's say, Georgia Tech as the winner of the tournament? And you know what's crazy? They can win. They can make the ACC championship game and lose to Georgia.
Yeah. But if they lose to Georgia and then lose the championship game, that's 3 losses. They're not getting in anyway.
Yeah. I don't see no possible outcome of the ACC getting 2.
I don't either. It's hard to see, but I mean, there is a possibility, but it's the Big 12 will get 2 before the ACC gets 2.
I can't see it at all.
Yeah, I think go ahead.
I think they value the SEC and the Big 10 too much. I just don't see it.
So what if Georgia Tech wins the ACC championship and Miami wins out?
I think Georgia Tech get the bid.
I do too. And Miami's going to have to make a case for an at-large.
And then they'll be fighting. Possibly they'll be fighting the 5th and the 4th Big 10 team if USC can win at Oregon, or against Oregon. I don't know where that game is. And then they'll be fighting BYU who would just have only one loss against the same, 2 losses against the same team. And that's not a bad loss.
Unless Tech blows them out again.
That too, true.
But, I mean, you're looking, you can almost pencil in the Big Ten SEC is going to have anywhere between 7 to 8 teams combined between the two.
7 to 9.
Possibly, yeah. You could have 5 and 4. You could have 4 and 4, 3 and 4. Anywhere between that number is going to be bids that are gone to the 2 top conferences.
Nah, you're right. 7 to 8.
It's 7 to 8.
Yeah.
9 would be far. 9. I mean, you go to 16,
5 and 3.
Yeah,
maybe 5 and 3, 4 and 4.
Yeah, something along those lines would be what I've got it put at. I mean, how crazy is it though? Bama is sitting at 10, and they're the second. They've got the second best odds to make the SEC title game. A&M has the top odds, obviously, win against Texas, and we're in the SEC title game. But Bama holds the tiebreaker over Georgia. Yeah, they were going through all the scenarios. It gets wild if we get a tie.
So do we think, so it will be Bama, say Bama went out, Bama will play, and say, let's just say, just for hypothetical purposes, Texas A&M loses to Texas. Who will be in the title game? Everybody else will.
Bama and Georgia.
So if Bama lose to Georgia, are they in with 3 losses is the question. Because that'll be the next loss. That would be the loss that was needed.
Right.
Do you penalize them for going to the SEC championship, though?
They say they're not going to, but they didn't last year. But that's the only sample size we have is last year with Clemson.
That's why conference championships games are yuck. They are nasty.
Yeah. I mean, to me, a team that makes the title game in the Big Ten or SEC needs to be in. Whether Bama has 3 losses because they lost to Georgia, or to me, I'm sorry, just like if Michigan beats Ohio State and goes to the Big Ten title game and they lose to Indiana and they have 3 losses, to me, they should be in the playoff. You made it to the conference championship game of one of the 2 toughest conferences in all of football. You need to be in. That's my opinion.
Damn, I never even thought of it like that either, Sean. Because I'm saying, okay, Michigan beat Ohio State, they'd be in. I'm not even thinking about what if they lost in the Big Ten championship after that.
Right. But to me, they should be in.
That's what I'm saying about BYU. What if BYU gets to number 10? What if somehow they get to 10 and they make it to the daggone Big 12 championship game against Texas Tech again, lose? How do you kick them out? They played in their championship game and they already are at 10.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead.
I just don't believe. Listen, we talk about smoke screens. It could be a smoke screen. It could be. They could be fake showing the Big 12 love. I just can't. Man, ain't nobody gonna convince me that if BYU gets blown out by Texas Tech again, regardless if they make the Big 12 championship, I think they respect the Big 10 and the SEC, to where the team that loses the conference championship still makes the playoffs. I don't think they respect the Big 12 like that. Remember, the Big 12 is 0-3 against ranked teams outside of conference. I just do not see the committee putting 2 teams from the Big 12 in the playoffs. I just don't, man.
I feel you. I think some of this is gonna come down to the eye test too. Like, how well did you play? You know, even if you lost, what did you look like when you lost?
there's so much. I mean, you know, we got 2 weeks left. You know, just looking at the conference, you know, my SEC down there. I mean, even if A&M and Bama win out and they play in the SEC title game and A&M beats Bama, that's still Bama's third loss. But you can't drop them out for playing. I don't see any scenario where a team that makes the SEC title game or the Big Ten title game loses that game for their third loss. I don't see any way that team's left out. I just don't see it.
Man, I don't care what the committee do. They better not let Oklahoma and Texas A&M and Texas Tech get in there, and they not find a way to fit my damn Texas Longhorns in there. I don't care if we are sorry. I can't have all them dudes going in there. We don't.
We're gonna hope for complete chaos just for your sake. We're gonna hope that Texas Tech, Texas A&M, North Texas, SMU, and Oklahoma all make it in, and Texas sits at home playing basketball.
Yeah, y'all would love that.
You are not. You would not like me. You probably won't next week anyway.
I would probably take a break from the podcast for at least a week.
I got your number. I'll just start texting you.
I bet you would. I bet you would.
Next week is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I got to see how they're going to fix this thing, man. They got to fix it, man. Because
in post game, just get to sit back.
Like I agree with Post though, because like honestly, the most very highly likely possible outcome is that we see 8 combined Big Ten teams, a Big 12 championship, a Big 12 champion, an ACC champion, a group of 5 in Notre Dame. That's the most likeliest outcome.
100%
but
agree.
Other possibilities across the board, you know, you just can't account for because it's college football, you know.
And I know Notre Dame. I know y'all got like Syracuse and I don't even know who else left.
Stanford. Syracuse and Stanford.
I mean, you know, anything's possible. I don't see it, but one loss from a Notre Dame, an OU, or a Bama, and this all goes to hell.
Yeah. But we talk about Notre Dame and Miami being compared when making the playoffs. What if you get to the point where you comparing the Miami and BYU? What if you comparing the USC and BYU? I just don't see it, man.
I think if you compare Miami and BYU, you have to take into the account the strength of schedule. Miami went out and played Notre Dame. BYU played Portland State.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if you're bringing it down to Miami and BYU or USC played Michigan, played Oregon, played,
Notre Dame.
Iowa. They played Notre Dame. I mean, you got to take the team that wasn't afraid to schedule.
But who got the best win?
Out of who?
All the teams. All them teams you want to compare. Who got the best win? You know?
Out of
USC.
We saying USC, Miami, BYU, you know, who all the other teams you mentioned. Leave Notre Dame out of this. Who got the best win?
USC, BYU, and who else?
Miami. It'll be Utah right there too. Yeah, that's
USC
it.
has the best win. USC's got the best wins. They beat Michigan, and they beat.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Miami does. I keep telling y'all this. They beat Notre Dame. They have the best win.
I thought you were leaving Notre Dame's game out of it because that's what you
No,
said.
I'm leaving Notre Dame because they look better than all them teams, so you got to sit them in there. Okay. That's why Notre Dame and Miami are paired together, bro. Right. If you put Notre Dame in the field and it come down to Miami and all these other teams, you gotta go Miami because they got the best win. They have the best win.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
I
this.
agree.
Let me ask y'all this: if USC goes to Oregon and beats Oregon, is that now the best win?
No, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't seen squat diddly from Oregon for real. I mean, that Iowa team is a good team, but that's their best win.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So,
I mean, we talked about it all summer, man. Oregon's schedule looked a little funny in the light, you know?
That
Penn State hurt them, though, you know?
That hurt big time.
That's what hurt A&M. LSU was ranked, supposed to be good. Auburn was supposed to be good. South Carolina was ranked earlier in the year. And they all just fell off. And then A&M's on their schedule. And now people are like, y'all played the weakest schedule. It's not my fault they suck.
Hey, y'all like that? Y'all like that though, huh? Their schedule looked a little funny in the light.
Yeah. That was nice. That was nice. Hey, y'all, listen. We had 152, bro. We had 152.
Hey, he trying to get his AI popping.
AI popping for sure. Yeah. Are y'all going live tomorrow? Or you ain't heard from Parlay Poe yet?
Hey, I'm on post time. You know, I just want to, you know what I mean, let him get himself together, figure it out. You know what I mean? If he mentions something, we could probably set something up or something. But I ain't gonna push it on him or nothing. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right, cool. Well, I mean, you can always do something by yourself, can't you?
Yeah, but I need somebody to, you know what I mean, be on, because I'm gonna be at work for real. So I could, but it's kind of complicated if I ain't in front of that screen.
Right. Okay. Well, that's cool. We'll definitely be back on Thursday for another edition of the Thursday Night Forecast. We got everybody's channel scrolling across the bottom. Check us all out. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, go to all of our channels, replay some of our videos, put them in your what they call it, the key. That ain't what it's called, the queue. Put them all in the queue and just let them roll. Put them in the queue and let them roll. So we can go ahead and get them watch hours and all that good stuff. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll be back again on Thursday night, like I said, at 7:45, where we'll be talking about this weekend's slate of games, which we got another great weekend of college football, and we'll talk about whatever that Thursday night football game is in the NFL. All right, y'all, have a good rest of y'all's evening, man. I appreciate y'all making it. Good discussion.
Thursday night, Houston and Buffalo, by the way.
Houston and Buffalo. Buffalo's
and CJ Stroud's out.
Oh, well, we already know well, you never know, man. The NFL is kind of fickle.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good one, man. I appreciate y'all.
All right.
All right, then, homies.
Peace,
y'all. Peace.
There we go.